Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about square necklines, and in this part we're talking about a square neckline that for a pattern that you already have and how to create a square neckline from that. You felt like the neckline was too low, you wanted to put a band on it, or it's just like maybe you've already cut it out and you changed your mind and you want to put a band. How would you go about doing this then? So you would take the pattern. I'm just going to cut off the shoulder here so that it is easier, we get a truer reading on the pattern that we're going to make. So you take the pattern, and remember it is on a fold. You can also do the same thing with it wide. Okay, if it's wide, you just take your pattern paper, put it this way and draw out what it is. But since we did this on fold, I want to show you guys how to do it on fold, just in case your patterns are half scale. Okay, so you take this and you put them together. Okay, try and get it as stable as you can. You can even use some tape if that will help. So now we will take anything we can, marker, and trace out the outline of the square neckline. Okay, you trace this out so that you know where it stops. All right, so now we are done with this part. You can take it out. So now you will decide, label again please. This is the front, this is the side shoulder. Okay, so now you will decide how the width of the band that you want. And yet again, for this tutorial, let's use 1/2 inch. Okay, and this band, okay. Now you would join these two parts so that you know where the joining is going to be. And as with the other one, this is on a fold. Okay, so let's say this is front so that we're not confused. This is on a fold, this is on a fold, this is on a fold. Okay, then you would cut it out. So you will also cut out this line here. So now this would be our pattern. Okay, this is the front, this is the fold, this is the fold, this is the side for this one, and this is the side for this one. So you will just cut this out in fabric and stitch up. Okay guys, so for our next part, I will show you how to pattern draft a square neckline from your pattern, and especially for this one we're doing with a neckband. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. Also, in the second part, I will be showing you guys a square neckline on the top that I'm actually going to make. See you at the end of the video. Okay guys, so for the first part of how we're going to make a square neckline, don't forget this part that I'm going to teach you guys how to create, you can also do that with a V neckline, okay? But for today we're trying to create a pattern for our square neckline, okay? So let's say this is your pattern, right? And from this you want to create your square neckline. So I'll just take another color pen so that I can show you guys, okay? So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to use let's call it 1/2 inch, okay? So what you would do is, we're going to assume this is the final neckline. This is the neckline that you want your top or your dress. You can even put this on a jumpsuit, you know. This is the final neckline you want. And also, so to create the band, we'll have to go inward into the pattern, okay? And this paper is on the fold, okay? So this is for this is the front pattern and it's on the fold, so we are creating a half pattern. So like I said, we will use 1/2 inch and we will just go round. So I'm sorry guys, but it seems like the video was on pause while I was talking. So I was just saying that you need to create an angle here, okay, so that you can come this way and join the angles together, right? And this has to be joined together for the banded type of square neckline that we are making, okay? So with that said, here is going to be on the fold because our fabric is on the fold, and there's also going to be a fold here. Then this is the top of the band. This is this, I'm just calling this a side shoulder, and here is also going to have a fold, right? But this is our stitching line. This line here is our stitching line, and this line as well. So after you have done all this, you can now cut out everything and cut on your pattern. So now we will cut out in here. Okay, so our pattern when we cut out is going to look like this, okay? Then the two side shoulders will look like this and like this. Okay, this will create a square neckline. Okay, so let me show you how I've already done that on my pattern. Okay guys, this is the pattern that I'm currently working on, or the top I'm currently working on and sewing. So I just wanted to show you guys how everything has turned out. As you can see, I put my top there and I put it on fold, so here is on fold, so we won't add any seam allowance here. Okay, I don't know where I dropped the part for this, but it's the same thing. So we put it this way, and then I cut everything and added 1/2 inch seam allowance all around, as you can see, and it would have been the same thing for here. I put the pattern and put 1/2 inch seam allowance. And don't forget, when you are cutting, you cut this side this way and you flip it over this way to cut for this side. Okay, it's like when you're cutting out your sleeve and you have to flip it around. Okay, and this is, as you can see, this is where we join, and you can see the square neckline that it would create. So now a bit of prep before we start sewing, so that I can show you what we need to do to the top to get us ready for sewing. Okay, now this is the top. This is the square neckline, and yes, so I want to create this is just prep on the top so that it will be easier for us when we are sewing. Okay, so I'm going to come to this angle here, and because my seam allowance is 1/2 inch, I will put 1/2 inch on the, let me bring you guys in closer. I will put 1/2 inch on the thing there and draw an outline. Okay, what we're looking for is this point here, because when we are sewing the band, we need to get to this point accurately so that everything looks nice and sharp. Okay, just this point. Okay, okay guys, so the next bit of prep work that we have to do is to join the band, okay, at the seam here. Okay, and I'll just show you guys how that would work. I've joined this side, and I want to show you guys how to join this other side. And it's very important that you iron everything out and give them creases. Okay, the creases help you to line things up so that your square neckline will be very precise. Okay, now I have lined up everything here. Okay, and now I am going to follow this crease, okay, and try and pin them together, but I'm also going to make sure it comes out at the same spot at the back, and I can see it's off by just a few millimeters, but I want it nice and crisp, so I'm going to make sure that it works that way, and make sure they are the same here at the point here. Make sure they meet at the same point, and then I will just pin this, and you can see it came out at the same spot at the end as well. Then if you wanted, you could pin this side and pin this side as well, but I don't need to. I will just go ahead and sew up my 1/2 inch seam allowance, which was the seam allowance I used for the pattern. Okay, all right, let's do that now. Okay guys, so the next bit of prep we have to do is to pin the band onto the neckline. Okay, so we're going to be pinning the band to the outside of the top in this our case, okay, so that by the time we sew it up and flip it around, it will look like this. Okay, now I have done this side already because this is like the most important part. I've pinned it to the cross that we put on this side. So now I want to show you guys how to do it for this side. Okay, let me skip you guys a little bit closer. Okay, so now for this we are going to do the same thing we did here to create our pinpoints, because I want really sharp squares, okay, square necklines, okay. So basically sorry guys, I did the video but it's like everything wiped away. So I drew a line here, okay, a right angle line. I just took the ½ inch this way and the ½ inch this way, and they met at that point, which I put this pin through, and then I put it through this point here, okay. And I'm doing all this because I want very, very precise corners, okay. So I pin that down, and all this is just to make sewing much easier, okay. So I will now get to sewing this, and I will show you guys how it will be done, okay. So now I am just going to sew down here, and I have also transferred the 90-degree corner out here because this is where I want to sew from. And now I'm going to sew till I get to that point, snip into here so that it will allow me straighten out the band and keep on sewing, okay. Remember, I'm sewing at my seam allowance of ½ inch, okay guys. Okay guys, I'm done sewing the top now. I just want to show you guys what it looks like. See how that nice edge is there, and I'll wear it now so you guys can see what it's all about.